Sounded absolutely horrible. Are you on? You're in there?
Yep.
We must share the screen.
Okay. My big old head in there.
Let's see. You ready?
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
Guns, self-defense, conceal carry. This is the Patriot Defense Podcast. From the War Room in Idaho's high desert, here's your host, Todd Echols.
And we are back once again into Saturday afternoon, and we are tucked away in the War Room somewhere in the high desert of southern Idaho. And joining me is, did we come up with a name for you?
I think we just went with
Bathroom Paul.
Bathroom Paul.
Yep. Bathroom Paul. Bathroom Paul is back. He might be
morning, guys.
A semi-regular.
Semi-regular.
A semi-regular. So Todd doesn't have to do it by himself.
There you go.
How you been, Mr. Paul?
Been good. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in there. The weather's warming up.
Yes.
Finally.
Except for the thunderstorms that are coming in right now.
Well, are they supposed to be full on thunderstorms?
Yeah, I got a warning on my phone just a few minutes ago that said it was.
Oh, did you?
Thunderstorms with 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I'll have to vacuum. I'll have to mow tomorrow so I can mow up all the branches.
Yep.
I don't pick nothing up. We just hit them with the rider. We pull out the old Husqvarna and we just right over the top of them.
Easiest way.
It's called mulch.
Yeah.
It's called sawdust. So you were telling me that you went out and actually did some shooting last weekend.
I did.
What were you shooting?
I was shooting my new Canic that I got, I guess, month and a half ago.
You still liking that?
Oh, love it. Absolutely love it.
You learning that trigger?
I am. And I'm finding that it doesn't matter what kind of ammo I put in there. I've shot some of the cheapest, dirtiest
thing just
stuff.
Runs.
It does.
Have you cleaned it yet?
No.
Yes.
No.
You've learning something from me.
Well, I just want to see what it's going to do. So
actually, you know what? The guys that I know that have the Canics, hey, Pete, the guy I know that has the Canics, they don't, they're pretty realistic about cleaning. So I was good. Let's get these things dirty and see what happens.
Yeah. And I want to see, because if I'm going to carry it, it's going to get dusty and dirty just in the environments that I work in. So I want to make sure it's going to cycle if it's dirty and stuff like that too.
And you got the one with the long barrel. So we decided that's like a
5.2 inches.
5.2 inch barrel.
5.2 inches.
And do you appendix carry that?
No, I don't carry it at all yet. Somebody told me that they were going to start making holsters and
I'll go show. We need to talk after. We need to talk after the program. It's a learning curve. I'm getting there. I ordered a big stack of Kydex. We're on our way.
We're getting there.
I'm good for about 2 messed up holsters a day, and I gotta go do something else. It's starting to cost me a little bit of money.
Well, once you get it, I can donate to the cause.
Yeah, I'll holler at you. We'll get it figured out. But are you going to appendix carry that? Or you can carry on your side.
I carry on my side. I don't.
Okay, that's a long barrel to be.
Yes, it is 5.2 inches.
Now I do know that we have a diehard fan of the podcast, James. When he gets on here, he will James will tell you otherwise.
He said he carries that 1911.
I can verify.
Yeah,
I can verify
because I think we talked about me appendix carrying it before.
Yeah, and he said 4 inches.
Yeah,
no, he said 4 3/4 inch or something, and you said, "Well, I'm 5.2."
Yeah,
someone got in on that conversation. That's a bad.
Please don't pick the wrong answer.
Don't. Yeah, just go ahead and go back to the beginning to find out what we're really talking about, not what it sounds like we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how many rounds do you think you've got through that thing now?
I think probably about 250, 300 rounds.
And no problems whatsoever?
None whatsoever.
When is the red dot coming?
I don't know yet.
And do you know what kind you like?
I'm kind of leaning towards the Hollow Sun.
Okay, so you like the 507K?
Yeah, I think that's the one it's got the little solar panels on.
That's the K. The C is a lot smaller.
Yeah, and it's the Shake Awake, I believe, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one I've been looking at.
I've talked about it every podcast since I've got it. But man, I shoot mine. I just love the stupid thing.
Yeah, well, I shot yours. And
Yeah.
I really liked it.
The red dots.
Yeah.
That thing's the shit.
Yeah.
It really is.
It really was.
is.
I shot the dueling tree with it that day out there. And
Yeah.
for never having used one, didn't miss. So
Yeah.
I liked it.
And they're freaking fast.
Yeah.
They are fast.
But I will not put suppressor sight or height sights on there.
Yeah. I thought about that. I don't think I want to spend the money and do that, because here's the thing. You're close enough. You're up close enough in a defensive. You just go ahead and frame them up inside the red dot, and there you go.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
That's my thoughts too.
And then at that point, the red dot is, so it's like a halfway point of like, just, you keep your both eyes open and use the red dot, but it's like a halfway to like point shooting, which is what you're going to be doing in a defensive, encounter anyway.
Yep.
And so you pull it up, you look at the target, you look through the red dot, you look through the red dot screen, and you're focused on the target or the threat, and you just place the red dot on it. That's how you're supposed to do it anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, what does it matter?
Why co-witness with, sights?
I'm not going to co-witness crap.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's where I'm at on that. So I've had a you saw him out there. I don't think have you shot at my new steel silhouette target yet?
The hostage one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you shoot at it?
I did. You told me do not shoot the hostage. Nobody else has yet.
No. Well, and it stood that way for like over a month. And then Henry showed up. And Henry tried to bust a 10 mil right through the hostage's shoulder to hit the bad guy. It didn't work out so well. Dang it. And since then it's been hit 2 more times.
Oh man.
But it's time to get the paint out and clean it up a little bit. It wasn't me, people. It was not me.
It definitely wasn't me.
That's right. We know we got some good shooters here.
Henry with his 10 millimeter.
Henry with his 10 mil, and he just like laughed. And I'm like, you just killed the freaking hostage.
It's all fun.
Blew his shoulder off. So what he did.
Yeah, it's fine. It would have saved him.
It'll grow back.
Yep, exactly.
Will it? No. So I was thinking the other day, I get. Let's back this up again. I get asked this question all the time. People that take these classes, they always ask me. They're like, "You must have a ton of handguns." Honestly, I don't have that many handguns. I think that people think that when you are an instructor and this is because I can write stuff like that off.
Yeah.
They think that you're just going to have a whole freaking safe full of guns.
Yeah.
I really don't. I can fit all the guns I have into like a little backpack.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I mean, I don't have that many. So it's all about practicing with what you have, right?
Yeah.
Learning how to shoot what you have. Maybe instead of spending money on another firearm, you spend it on ammo so you can go train, or you spend it on a training class. It's once you find what you like, and for a long time when the Cajun Cowboy was coming in on a regular basis, he'd talk about it. He'd talk about trying to find that gun that fit him, the gun that worked for him, the gun that he liked.
Absolutely.
And he absolutely finally found it. And he hasn't bought another gun since.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way. I've got my VP9 that I love so much, my carry gun. The last gun I bought was actually another VP9, just same thing pretty much with a cut slide. And I don't feel the need to go buy anymore right now because it's.
Yeah. Once I got my hand on that Canic, I haven't even considered looking for anything else.
You just soup the Canic up a little bit.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
all that thing needs is a red dot.
Yep. And I'm sure it's probably this summer sometime.
I'll keep an eye out if I see some on sale.
Yeah.
Because they show up in town. They're right around $280.
Yep. And that's what I've seen them for, is about $280.
Yeah.
And the nice thing about the Canic, it comes with all the plates and everything that you need already. So you just mount it right on.
I got a Burris I'll sell you. Still in the box.
Still in the box.
Brand new. Brand new.
I think I have the plate for that one too.
You're set to go.
For my Canic.
So I'll sell that to you for $275. No tax.
No tax. Oh, I'll think about it.
Okay.
You trade it for a beat up Taurus PT 111?
Maybe. I'm looking for a lighter gun to carry while I'm running anywhere. Anyhow. So
you shot that thing way better than I did.
Yeah,
I haven't picked it up since.
But it's a Taurus. You want to know what I thought about doing the other day? Some of the guns that, you have quality guns, and I think most of the guns that come out now are pretty decent quality, right? They have to be, they're not going to compete. I don't care if you spend $200 on it or $900 on it. They're all going to be decent quality, right? They're all going to go bang. If they don't go bang when you squeeze the trigger, they're not going to sell any, so they're not going to be in business long. But you have more refined triggers on the higher priced ones, stuff like that. We've talked about this before. I did think about buying. I take everything back because I did think about buying a gun the other day.
What was it?
I thought about buying an SCCY.
No, you did not.
Yes. I was going to get an obnoxious color, an SCCY with the crimson trace red dot on it.
Yeah.
And I was going to go out and shoot the gun and show people that can be shot.
Well,
I know it can.
It can be shot.
But
Yeah.
I just wanted to like challenge myself a little bit. Does that make?
Yeah, because even with the red dot on there, that gun's what, like 250 or something like that?
Yeah, I was afraid though I'd like it too much, and maybe that would be the one I ended up carrying.
A nice bright pink and
sweet
Oh,
zombie green,
yeah.
purple.
well, you know, a guy that could probably take care of you
Yeah,
over there at the gun counter.
yeah. I know. I don't know. Anyhow, I woke up from that dream and decided just to keep going the way I'm going.
Yeah,
I actually almost purchased more ammo yesterday.
Did you find it online?
Yeah, I get these emails sent to me about they just show up randomly because I'm on like emailing lists and stuff, and from some places that I think was Freedom Munitions was having actually I got them from two different places. Freedom Munitions was having a 2-day sale on 9mm ammo. So remand ammo
Okay.
is like 53 cents a round.
It's not bad at this point right now.
No, it's not. And I was afraid though, but when I don't buy like 500 rounds.
Yeah.
I buy like 2,000 rounds.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't delete.
Yeah.
So I forget about it. And then another place I buy ammo from said, we just got it in. It's not going to last long. There's a handful of people to get the emails. You're one of them. And it was like 60 something cents around. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Man.
I'm tempted. I wouldn't have done that 6 months ago.
Yeah. No, I'm at the same point where I'm about ready to start spending 60 cents a round.
And it's not that I'm running out, right? It's just that I want more ammo.
Yeah. Well, you need it for your business.
I do.
But, guy like me, if I want to train, I'm going to have to pay for it.
I should have sent you that email. That's pretty good. A Freedom Munitions ammo is not bad.
Really?
Not bad stuff. I got a lot of it.
I'll have to look that one up. I have never heard of that one.
Oh yeah, it's from Northern Idaho.
Is it really?
Yeah, you order it, and they typically, I think now that's a little more of a lead time, but when they had ammo in, you'd order it, and it showed up in like 2 days. It was fantastic.
Really?
Delivered right to your door. They got a little seal on it that says "Made in Idaho."
Oh, get any stickers?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they did. That's
No wonder you like them.
$500 on a holster. They don't give you a freaking sticker though. But whatever, it is what it is. Yeah, I was going to ask you something else, and I just lost.
But yeah, if I'm
My
going to
train of thought.
I'm going to have to start spending 60 cents a round. It's breaking my heart, but to be able to go out and train and stuff, you're going to have to.
How's the ammo in town though? I haven't made any ammo rounds for a while because it was costing me like $60 a day.
I haven't been out in a couple weeks. With work has just been too busy, and
Yeah.
I don't even go try on the weekends because it's never there.
You know what I am seeing though? I've got into a couple gun stores, and they've just had, I won't say they're full. There's been a lot of firearms in stocks.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's because people are buying less or if they're just manufacturing. I have no idea. I think people are just not buying as many.
Well, why are you going to buy a gun if you can't buy ammo for it?
We said that though 6 months ago. And
That's
people
true.
kept doing it. But I don't know. Maybe summer's coming and people are spending their money on fuel.
Yeah. It's time to get the boats out.
Time to get the boats out. I already seen campers and the side by sides.
I saw kayaks down on the river last week. It was like 55 degrees outside, and people were on the river on their kayaks.
People are itching to get out.
Yes. Oh, it was like, no thanks.
I've been itching to get out and shoot more. That it's been a little nicer out.
Mhm.
Our big deal around here, if you're not from Southern Idaho, is the wind, and we've spent some really nice, calm evenings, and it's been awesome to
It's been
shoot.
really nice.
I had my women's class normally shows up on Thursdays. This week was the 5th week. Was week number 5, and so we just we didn't have any class that night. I got to give myself a break every now and then. But I had a handful of ladies that wanted to just pay for range time and come use the range, and they did, and they actually invited me out to shoot with them.
Oh, really?
I'm out there, and they were all pretty good. So like, you shoot with me. So we had a blast out there. We just
Nice.
all like a bunch of friends.
Well, you said the girls are better than the guys anyways.
Oh,
They're
right.
more fun, you said.
They are, and it's an interesting thing, and I know I've mentioned this on the last couple podcasts, but the number of women, the percentage of women that have been my students that have been women that have taken my class this year is like 90 something. It's got to be up to like 90 something percent. It's absolutely amazing. I threw out a class that wasn't for just women; it was for whoever wanted to sign up. So, and when you do that, typically who you get? Guys are going to sign up for it.
Yeah.
And I have one guy sign up for it, which is fine. Matt, he listens to this podcast sometimes, and he'll come and he'll take the class and he'll have a blast, right? But I mean, I can't get anyone. I can't get, unless it's a permit class, I cannot get men to sign up for a class.
No training classes.
They are not signing up for training classes right now. And here's the thing I throw out there, a year ago, I was thinking it's just about a year ago and all this kind of stuff started. I think it's when it all started. I was telling everyone, dry fire, train, go out and dry fire in your living room, get a training system, get a mantis, get whatever. And that's good. But you know what? It's been a year now. You need to probably go out, and whether you come take a class or whether you go out to a gravel pit, you need to go out and you need to fire some rounds. You need
absolutely.
to fire some live rounds. So I don't know how long this whole ammo things, if it's even going to get better or how long it's going to go on, but let's say 2-3 more years, possibly, depending on what happens. Right. Yeah. And who knows, there could be another run on absolutely everything. And then we'll be even worse than what we are now.
Yep.
But you can't go another 2 or 3 years and not fire your guns.
No, because there's no substitute for shooting.
There's not.
You can't simulate the real thing
right.
And be accurate with it. You have to go out and do live ammo.
You can get away with it for a little while.
For a little while.
But then you need to fire your gun. And at this point, it's been a year. So instead of going out and firing 10 rounds, go out and fire a couple hundred rounds.
Yeah.
Be deliberate about what you do with it.
Yeah. Don't go out and do a mag dump.
Just don't mag dump and call it good, right? I mean, be deliberate in what you're doing, but couple rounds. I know there's so many people out here that they have scads of ammo at their house right now.
Oh yeah.
That they're cornholing all this ammo, but they've got it all hidden in some secret room somewhere. Break free a couple hundred rounds and go shoot it. Go take a class, go do something. Right now, the women are showing up in droves, man.
Do you think the mask mandate and stuff had anything to do with that? Because you can't see people's faces and women are a little more, scared and nervous now. And so they want to take that safety in their hands.
I think it has to do with just that too, but all kinds of stuff, right? I mean, they're scared. They don't know. I mean, people are calling about, defunding the police. Chris, awesome. Chris, I can't wait to see you on May 11th. She's taking a couple classes from me, so she's getting ready to take another one as well.
Oh, nice.
So, but yeah, I think they're it's a new world, right? I mean, people are getting away with stuff they wouldn't normally get away with. And let's throw this up. I've actually got a clip here that I found, and thanks for reminding me about my clip though. See, because I got this nice list right here and I'm not going to freaking remember to look at it. So let's play this here.
Florida is known for its sun, sand, and surf, but the Sunshine State is also becoming the Gunshine State. More than 2 million Floridians have concealed weapons permits. And as Fox 35's David Martin reports.
Oh, there we go. I muted my mic here. I'm going to jump in there and say that the reporter's a little wrong. They called Florida the Gunshine State. Like they were doing that like 10 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the reporter's a little off. Or maybe she just got woke.
Yeah, there you go.
Women are fueling the firearm frenzy.
Slowly pull the trigger.
Sharon Mason, raised on a farm in the country, familiar with firearms. But
when I moved to down here, there's lots of people and they're not all good.
So Sharon's getting a license to pack privately.
I'm alone a lot.
She's applying for her concealed weapon permit in Florida, which means she'll be able to carry her gun in the car, in her purse, on her ankle, on her thigh, even in her bra. And she's certainly not alone.
I carry in my bra too.
I do too.
Yeah, that's my bro.
Yeah.
I will say, and we're going to get back to this in just a second. I just like to interrupt a lot. What you guys aren't seeing, this is actually a clip from a YouTube video, and they're in there taking this class, and they're firing guns, but they're firing simunitions guns, exactly like the ones I have, which are pretty close to the real thing. But I still think that if you're going to take a class, you probably need to fire your gun that you're going to carry.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, this is this is better than nothing.
Leanne Mellis doesn't want to be a victim either.
I'm a small woman, so I want to be able to have something that will protect me against somebody that would intend to harm me.
Julianne and Sharon are enrolled in a 3-hour concealed carry course offered by the Armory store in Kissimmee, a ladies-only class led by NRA certified instructor Lily Moffitt.
Having women's only breeds an environment where they can feel comfortable to speak freely and not feel maybe judged or intimidated.
And the interest in those classes keeps growing, says the Armory's general manager, Matt Brett.
From 2019 to now, we're seeing a 30 to 50% increase in women. And
I would agree with that statement 100%. The amount of women that are showing up for classes and they're buying guns, because I even checked with Mark, the old gunslinger.
Uh-huh.
He said that the amount of people that are coming in to their store to buy guns is like through the roof. The amount of women.
Yeah, and I noticed that when I go in there because I like to poke around, I see a lot more women at the gun counter
They
now.
actually have a woman that works behind the gun counter.
Yes, I saw her,
which is pretty awesome.
Yes,
women.
Prompting the store to offer 4 ladies-only concealed weapon classes a month. The ages range, and so do the reasons for being here. Home care nurses, stay-at-home moms.
A lot of them are realtors.
The state says women make up 28% of its 2.5 million number of concealed carry licensees. And the Crime Prevention Research Center reports that in the past 8 years, permits grew 101% faster for women than for men.
Mostly because the riots that they were seeing on TV and the defund the police movements, it scared them.
Gun rights advocate and owner of Armed and Feminine Firearms Training, Kelly Pigeon, says she likes to see women able to protect themselves.
We have a lot of women who are empty nested, they're widowed, they're single mothers. They have to step up and be their own first responder.
However, she has concerns about what kind of proper training these new concealed carry permit holders have, men or women. After all, successfully passing a 3-hour class with a quick shooting test is really the only thing one needs to get the concealed carry permit in Florida.
Like you said, that's just in Florida, but I do 100% agree. Your permit class, even the 8-hour one that we have to take up here in Idaho, or you don't have to. I mean, you can constitutionally carry, but the course is not enough. You have to fire 98 rounds when you're here for 8 hours. That is not enough. And so many people get their gun. They come take a class. They load the gun. They put it in the holster, and they don't touch it again for another 5 years.
What was it that Mo said last week? Is she had to shoot 20 rounds? Is that what it was? It was some ridiculously low number. I'm like, why? Why even bother at that point?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not discounting them. They're taking class.
Me either.
But I mean, and I'm not calling for like extra state mandated training by any means. I don't think the federal government should get involved and make you have to take a class for stuff like that. But it's the fact that just people need to understand. I think the firearms community as a whole needs to come together, and they need to push that message of you need to train. You need more classes than just your concealed carry permit class. You really do. And some people are going to say, well, you're just looking at that from a financial standpoint, Todd. Sure, probably a little bit, but you know what? The stuff I see in class.
But if you don't train, how are you going to act if the situation ever arises?
You're not.
Do you practice, even at home? Like, I practice my drawn point.
Sure.
From home, just standing there in my living room.
Yeah.
So I know how to clear my shirt, how to clear my holster, how to, to do that. If you don't practice, you're not going to be able to do it when the situation arises.
Especially with a 5.2 inch barrel.
Yes. 5.2 inches.
5 points.
As soon as I get a good holster for that, I'm going to start practicing that one.
Yeah. Old bathroom Paul's packing 5.2 inches.
That plus a background check and being 21 years old. So Pigeon says it starts with the obvious.
In their gun, when they get it, is going to be a little manual. And in that manual, if they read it, are going to be how you safely handle that gun.
I will say there was a woman that showed up to Mike took a private class this week, and she had read the manual that came with her firearm, and I was so proud of her. Have you ever read the manual that came with any of your guns? Be honest.
I didn't know there was a manual that came with the guns.
Yeah, that's usually under the foam.
Oh, I'll have to go look at my can and see if there's one in there.
She was the first one that I know that she said, I read the manual. Yeah. And I'm like, good on you. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've ever read one.
I was super impressed.
After that, she says monthly practice at the gun range, ideally with an instructor. Pigeon is not a fan of keeping a gun locked in the car's glove compartment, nor in a purse, because the weapon isn't quickly accessible if needed, and it can sometimes be dangerous.
I had a student one time, and this happens. She actually had a loaded revolver just tossed in the bottom of her purse. You know, we're on the range. I'm like, okay, let me see your gun. And she's digging through her purse. And I'm like, oh, stop. Don't do that.
There are proper concealed carry purses on the market with steel straps that one can wear around the shoulder to prevent snatchings. However, Kelly Pigeon says the best way to conceal carry is on the body, using a strong, custom-molded holster that completely guards the trigger.
Gun ownership comes with a huge responsibility. And, you know, kudos to all the ladies who are ready to take that on.
I love giving people the resources and the knowledge to manipulate a tool that otherwise would be dangerous for them, you know, and giving them that sense of empowerment.
Empowerment that Sharon Mason hopes to never wield outside the gun range.
I hope I never have to use my weapon.
In Kissimmee, David Martin, Fox 35 News.
And she roared off into the evening in her on her Harley.
Was she on a Harley?
Yes, she was.
Good for her.
I watched the video twice. But no, I mean, that's so women are feeling the need to be prepared and arm themselves. And I think that's
great.
I think it's fantastic.
It's great because there's not always going to be somebody else there.
Yeah. So you're not going to get a woman instructor here at Patriot Defense. Yeah. You'll get me. I'm pretty freaking close.
You need to get your wife out there.
You know, that's not, she doesn't mind shooting, but that's not really her thing.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you're not into it, that kind of will bleed off and everyone will kind of see that. Right. But yeah. I have just a great time with all the women that show up and the women's classes I have. We have a good time over here.
That's nice.
So I'm impressed, but I'm going to chastise the men a little bit.
Do it.
I don't care if you don't show up here, go out and shoot, do something, quit hoarding ammo, go out, fire some rounds. You know, dry fire practice is over.
Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, you always want to fall back on it a little bit, but you've got to go shoot some rounds. You got no excuse now. Trust me, the ammo is nowhere to be found. So everyone buys it as soon as it shows up.
Yeah.
So you all have lots of ammo.
So yeah, I was going to say people have ammo.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it'd be on the shelf.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, you stood in front of the wall of ammo at your local gun store and you fought everyone off with one hand while you called all your buddies and your family and everyone that you knew that was in the vicinity, and they all showed up and bought the 2 boxes of ammo and then met you back at your truck in the parking lot and handed it to you. You wrote a fat check and passed out cash to everybody. Man. You've got freaking ammo.
Yep. Go shoot it.
Time to shoot it.
Yep. Or break down and start paying 60 cents a round for it.
Yeah.
You got to get it somewhere.
50, 60 cents a round is not bad.
Not right now.
No.
Not for 9mm.
I know. So sell that jet ski.
Yep, exactly.
Sell that kayak.
No, I got to shoot carp for my kayak.
Go buy some ammo. So let's touch on a few things in the news. We've had some interesting things happen in the last couple of weeks, and I just want to touch on them. I always say I don't want to go too deep into the news because sometimes I just get tired of all that crap.
Absolutely.
It just gets old in my mind. But we had some news came out this last week that the Supreme Court was going to take up a case, and it'd be the first one in like 10 or 12 years.
Yeah,
a Second Amendment case. So I got a little clip it here, and we'll go ahead and play it. And clip. Did I say clip it?
Clip it.
Snippet, soundbite. I got something.
Whatever
here
it is.
I got something here with words and noise on it. Let's listen to it.
I'm going to turn to some breaking news from the Supreme Court that is just coming into us this morning. And this is significant. Justices announcing that for the first time in more than a decade, they're going to take up a big issue in the gun rights debate. How much protection does the Second Amendment give you for carrying a gun outside the home? I want to bring in NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams. Pete, give us some background on this case and what the Supreme Court taking it up might mean down the road.
Well, the background is that in 2008, the Supreme Court said for the very first time that the Second Amendment does provide an individual right to own a gun. Up until then, that was an open question.
And that was what was considered, or what is called, the Heller case.
The Heller case.
The Heller case, which said they gave you the right to carry and own a gun inside your home, but that's it.
But what the court said is the right is to own a gun at home for self-defense. And ever since then, the court has one case after another consistently declined to take up the follow-on issue. The Second Amendment talks about the right to keep and bear arms. So what about guns outside the home? And that's what the court has consistently ducked. Now, though, it has agreed to take that issue up. It comes from New York State. In New York, there's a law against openly carrying guns in public, but you can get a permit to carry a concealed weapon. But the challengers say the New York law is so restrictive that ordinary citizens can't qualify. You have to show some special need other than just a general desire for self-defense, or saying
you have to show a special need other than, I don't know, your God-given right to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So this comes from the people that don't believe in a God or religion of any kind, right?
Oh my goodness. So let's not get on that topic.
Yeah.
You live in a high crime area. So the Supreme Court has agreed now.
That would be Twin Falls. I live in a high crime area.
Yeah.
Now, to take this case, it'll be argued next fall. Does that violate the Second Amendment? Interestingly, of course, what has changed since all the years that the court has ducked this issue is that we now have a more conservative court than we've had in decades, with 3 Trump appointees, most notably with the appointment of Amy Coney Barrett, who's been more receptive to arguments that the Second Amendment does provide more expansive protection than what the Supreme Court initially said. So this is a big deal case. It's the first big case on the Second Amendment rights since 2008 that the court will jump into. And of course, it comes at a time in our nation's history when there's more and more concern about gun violence. So it's an interesting confluence of events here. And as I say, the court will take this case up in the fall when the new term begins in October, probably argued maybe in October or November.
Pete Williams, live for us there in Washington. Pete, thank you very much for bringing us that developing news from the Supreme Court.
So it'll be interesting because, it is the Supreme Court right now, leans kind of to the right, especially with the Amy Coney Barrett.
Yeah.
Whatever.
ACB or something like that.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting though, because she didn't stand up, not that I'm a big Trump dude, but she didn't stand up for Trump. She didn't jump on that bandwagon, and she was put in by Trump and they were buddies.
Yep.
I've heard that she likes the Second Amendment and she supports the Second Amendment. So it'll, fingers crossed. I mean, we'll see where this goes. It could go really good for us, or it could go really bad for us.
Because that could open the door for nationwide constitutional carry.
Yeah, I mean that would be awesome. Or they could say, "Screw you guys."
Yeah,
can't carry outside your homes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so it could go really good or really bad. We don't know which way this is going to go, but it'll be interesting to keep an eye on this
and hopefully they don't do what they're talking about and get 2 more Supreme Court judges.
Start stacking the courts.
Yep. Because that could be real bad.
That could be real bad. Stuff changes every day, man. Every single day. But on other national type news, do you know what a FOID card is? Have you heard of the Illinois FOID card?
I hadn't heard of it until we talked about it right before the show.
So the FOID card stands for Firearms Owners Identification card. Is what it is, and it's pretty. You got to. I don't know if you've even got to get a background. I think you got to give them your fingerprint, and you got to pay $10. And it's a card that actually allows you, I believe, to go in and purchase a firearm or ammo. I mean, I could be kind of wrong on that exactly how it works, but a court over there actually just struck that down and called it unconstitutional. Let's take a listen.
Court judge ruled Illinois' FOID card is unconstitutional. Now, the state Supreme Court could take up that question. Capitol Bureau Chief Mark Maxwell is live in Springfield. Mark, lawmakers were already pushing to make changes to this FOID card law.
Paul, the Pritzker administration wants to encourage gun owners to give their fingerprints to the state. There are Senate Democrats who want to require FOID card owners to hand over their fingerprints and also double the cost of that FOID card. But now with a judge saying that card itself is unconstitutional, that could prompt lawmakers to start considering new changes. State law requires Illinois citizens to pay $10 and take a photo to own or possess a gun. A Second Circuit court ruling says the FOID card goes too far and makes criminals out of law-abiding citizens who keep guns within their own home.
There's certainly a Second Amendment opinion that we shouldn't need a card to own a gun.
House Democrat Mike Zaleski says the judge's ruling could send lawmakers back to the drawing board.
We did concealed carry 2014, I think, but it was as a result of a judge's opinions. This may have the same effect.
Court ruling protected the right of self-defense in your home, but would not apply to a concealed carry license.
My personal opinion is it's always made sense to unify the license.
1 in 3 concealed carry license holders gave Illinois their fingerprints in exchange for faster renewals.
Our number one responsibility, in my opinion, here is to improve the safety of our residents.
Senate Democrat Ron Villavalum says the concealed carry fingerprinting process flagged the 2019 mass shooter in Aurora for a crime in another state and very nearly helped state police prevent that tragedy.
The Illinois State Police law enforcement has clearly stated that having fingerprints, having universal background checks, having a FOID card system is what helps reduce gun violence in our state.
Conservatives cheered the judge's opinion.
I'm happy about the court's ruling.
Sign if they don't have the votes to block regulations in the State House, judges could roll them back from the bench.
I hope that to uphold the fact that FOID is unconstitutional and totally wipe out the FOID card.
The Illinois State Rifle Association said if the state Supreme Court does not uphold this lower court's ruling, rather they could appeal it all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. This case challenging the cost and constitutionality of the FOID card itself. Other lawsuits that are following behind it challenge the bureaucratic burden that's adding to this delay for people to renew the FOID cards they already have. That case still pending. Reporting in Springfield, Mark Maxwell, WCI 3, your local news leader.
And so that's another thing that they do is they require you to have these cards, require you to get these permits and everything like that. And then it's taking a long time to do it.
Yeah.
So then you're essentially
They slow play
screwed.
you.
They
Yep.
slow play you. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, it's interesting to kind of see where this ends up. So I like to look at the positive more than the negative because there's a lot of negative out there.
Oh yeah.
As we try to take 2 or 3 steps backwards, sometimes we're gaining ground in some areas, which is pretty amazing in the state of the union right now. So I mean, we'll see what happens here. Glad Idaho doesn't have a FOID card.
No, I in California.
Yes,
when I lived down there a long time ago, when I went to go buy my first pistol, you had to take a little test
just to purchase one
to get a little card that said that you had taken like a basic firearm safety class. And they just gave you this little book, and then you had to go down to a gun shop and you would take this test. And if you passed the test, they'd give you a card. And then whenever you wanted to buy a pistol, you had to have that card.
So essentially that was a FOID card.
Yeah.
So do you remember what the questions in the test were?
It was just silly stuff, like how to work a safety and the different parts of the gun. And it was absolutely ridiculous.
Stuff that you should actually get in a class if you were to go take a class.
Yeah. But that was 24, 25 years ago.
Now they want to microstamp everything.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's a crazy world that we live in. So let's talk about one more thing, and then I got another little rant I want to get into. Okay. So, and I'm kind of like,
I can see you twitching over there. You're just like, let's do it.
We can stretch my rant out for a while. I know we can. So we had that shooting in Ohio, right, where the law enforcement showed up. There was a fight. So what had happened was, from everything that I've heard, right, and I'm not here to jump on whether what the cop did was right or not. I mean, I've got my opinion. I think it was, but I'll throw that out there. But so this girl, something happened, and it's just these group of girls was after this one girl. She ran home. She was scared. She went inside her house, came back out to take on the girls. I don't know if she had a knife. I don't know who stabbed who.
Yeah, I don't know.
But they started fighting with a knife, right? The law enforcement showed up, jumped out of their vehicles. They saw one girl lunging at another one with a knife.
Yep.
So they drew their firearms and shot and dropped the girl that was attacking the other girl with a knife. Okay.
Yep.
They saw that someone's life was in danger, and they
used a deadly force.
They did what they needed to do. Okay. So we have all these elites, right? I'm going to call them elites, self-appointed elites, right? We have people off the View. We have all these people saying, well, this should have happened. This should have been done. And we have a nice little commentary from our friend Joy Behar.
Oh man.
And let's listen to it, and then we will break it down piece by piece.
I've looked at the tape and I still can't figure it out. Shoot the gun in the air as a warning, tase a person, shoot them in the leg, shoot them in the behind, stop them somehow. But if the only solution is to kill a teenager, there's something wrong with this.
So there you go. So it's really interesting that the people who are against law enforcement, the people who are against us having firearms, the people that are against concealed carry, all that, they're so intelligent that they would go ahead, and even our own president has said crap.
Yes.
And they know nothing about firearms. All they know is that their armed security has firearms, and that's good enough because they're the elite. They don't have to know these things.
Nope.
Armed security, they've got
Takes care of them.
It takes care of them. So here we go. We got Joy Behar saying a warning shot. Let's fire a warning shot. Warning shot. No, don't ever fire a warning shot.
Well, where's that warning shot going to go?
Yeah. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
It's going to come down. People are people, we tell people not to shoot up in the air during times of celebration because that round comes down at terminal velocity.
Yeah.
You're going to kill somebody. People get killed and hurt by that all the time.
I guess you could shoot at the concrete or the asphalt and watch it ricochet and just, go in 10 people.
Yeah, don't ever fire. There's no place for a warning shot. No place at all.
No.
She also said, why didn't they fire a taser?
How often do tasers work?
Well, first of all, if someone's right there, depending on how far away, the taser is only good for a certain distance.
Yep.
Okay. And if someone's got a knife and they're already almost on top of someone with a knife,
it's not.
You hit them with a taser, they're still on them with a freaking knife.
Yep.
We talk about the 21-foot rule, and the 21-foot rule, or the Tooler drill, is where a person from 21 feet can get to you in like less than 1.8 seconds or something like that. And where if they have a knife and they're coming at you from that distance, they are still a threat, even if you have a firearm, because you have to draw the firearm, get the firearm out, and hit them. Shoot them a good shot to stop them before they can get to you. It's almost near impossible. And if you do get the firearm out and you are able to get a rounds on them, they are still coming at you.
They've got that momentum.
They got the momentum. They're still coming at you, and they still have a knife in their hand.
Yep.
And they can stab the holy living crap out of you and really mess you up, possibly kill you.
Oh, absolutely.
Just from running into you.
Yeah.
As they're moving, even with rounds in them. A gun doesn't just, you just don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
there's a way it works.
So if you can still do that by being shot with a gun, a taser's not going to do crap at that point.
Yeah.
Okay. And then she goes, well, shoot him in the arm, shoot him in the leg, shoot him in the, what'd you say? Rear. Shoot him in the ass.
Yep.
Okay. That's not good either, right? I mean, you aim for center mass, or the center of the mass that you're given.
Yep.
And,
because most people in that situation aren't going to be a good enough shot to hit somebody in the arm.
Yeah, arms is little, arms are moving, legs are small, they're moving, right? Yep. Shoot them for center mass, and that's going to be in the center of the body, in the center of the chest. If they're turned away from you, that's possibly going to be in the back.
Yep,
because there is a back to the center of mass.
Yes, there is.
And just absolute buffoons, man. The buffoon. That's what Cajun Cowboy. Just buffoonery. It's just buffoonery. I mean, these people know nothing.
Nothing at all.
And we go back to our president. Even our president. Oh, just shoot that shotgun up in the air. One blast up in the air. I'm like, that's gonna work.
Yep.
And
these are the people that are supposed to be leading this.
That was him. Yeah, Joy Behar doesn't lead anyone.
No.
She is just a voice on the View. But
yeah,
I think it really got windy out there. By the way.
Yeah.
So Joy's she's just a voice on the View, and she's a no one. But they sit around, they talk along with the guys on the news and the reporters and stuff, and everybody listens to them. And most of what they say is wrong.
Wrong.
It's absolutely 100% wrong.
Yep.
I listened to another video that I was trying to get some audio out of that I decided not to use, but it was of Whoopi Goldberg on The View.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, on The View, and she was talking about, what was that kid's name? That kid who went out and he shot everyone up with the AR-15. It wasn't a mass shooting. He was actually out there in the riots. What was his name?
Oh yeah, I want to say
Kyle Rittenberg.
Yes, Kyle Rittenberg.
Rittenberg. She goes, well, when Kyle Rittenberg went out there, I wouldn't be packing a gun around. Well, Kyle Rittenberg was out there packing around a shotgun. Like, I don't think I saw a shotgun with a freaking video.
Nope, not a single
They
one.
know they don't know anything. They're
Yep.
stupid. They're trying to preach about something they know nothing about.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know why I'm surprised or upset by it, because honestly, it's just par for the course.
It really is.
But you hear it and you're just like, but there's a certain number of people out there that are following you, that listen to you, that hang on every word you say.
Because they think they're smart. They think they're they're a influential person, and they listen to these people thinking, oh, they've got information. She's on a talk show. She should know what she's talking about.
Oh yeah,
doesn't have a clue. Not a single one.
But it's just amazing to me. Okay, we got like 15 minutes now for a rant.
Okay. What are we going to rant about?
You're gonna keep poking. You know what I'm going to talk about. You got to keep bringing. You got to keep.
I'll poke.
Okay, you just got to keep poking.
I will.
Okay, so I have stated this before. I've talked about it numerous times, and it's funny because it just comes up every now and then. There is so many people out there that have no idea what they're talking about, and there is actually before we get to the main point of the rant, there's something else I wanted to talk about. I will pull it up. It was sent to me by a supporter of the podcast.
Okay.
And let me find it real quick here. I was told that I could use it. I just couldn't name.
No names.
The person who sent it to me, I just couldn't name their name. She sent this to me, and she goes, hey Todd, check this out. Tell me, is this true? And what she was referring to is there is a gal on Facebook, not locally here.
Okay.
But she is calling herself an instructor.
Okay.
She's certified by the NRA. She's a certified NRA, which I am as well, right? And I've learned as an instructor, if you don't know, you don't say, or you find the right answer. But she's on there telling people that, oh, come on, where is it? Oh, here it is. Here, I found it now. Where is it? It said, never tell. Well, that's not even the right. Oh, here it is. God, I found it now. She says, never tell anyone that you're carrying. It's brandishing, or it's called brandishing. It's a felony. Huge no. Never, ever do that. I am a certified NRA instructor, and I teach several subjects. I'm well-versed. Only if you're pulled over by a law enforcement officer and they ask specifically if you have a firearm or other self-defense items in your possession. Okay, let's dissect that. There's a lot to know there. First of all, lady, if anyone, I pray that anyone has done their research who is involved in this conversation on Facebook and doesn't go to this woman for a class.
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, she doesn't know what brandishing. She doesn't know what brandishing is. Brandishing. The definition of brandishing is to wave or flourish something, especially a weapon, as a threat in anger or excitement in the presence of two or more people.
Oh, I didn't realize it had to be two or more people.
Well, if it's only one, no one's there to witness you, not
true.
really threatening anyone.
Yeah, makes sense.
She's saying brandishing. Her point is that brandishing is you can't even tell people that you have a firearm.
Verbal
now,
statement.
granted, you do not want to go and like threaten someone. I have a gun. I'm going to kill you. There's going to be a problem there.
Yeah.
But guess what? That's not brandishing.
That's not brandishing.
And then she also needs to get out and learn the other laws in other states. Okay. Because she says on here, only if you're pulled over by an LEO and they ask specifically if you have a firearm, are you to tell them? Bull crap.
Mm-hmm.
There's some states, as soon as you get pulled over, you have to tell them.
Yep.
You have to tell them that you're a concealed carry holder and you have a firearm with them. Some states like Idaho, you do not have to.
Yep.
If they ask, you still don't have to tell them. I would.
I do.
But you don't have to, right? Some of them you have to notify.
Nevada,
you have to notify them that you have a concealed carry permit. As soon as they contact you at the very beginning of that contact, even if you don't have your gun with you.
Yep, exactly.
Because if they find out, and they will find out when they run your license plate, that you have a concealed carry permit and you have not informed them, you will get into trouble. They will jam you up. So this woman's telling you right now that I don't have to tell a law enforcement officer that I have a firearm or that I'm concealed carrying a firearm unless they ask. Wrong.
Yep.
I mean, this is I don't understand this woman.
Is she an instructor in Idaho?
No, she is not.
It's not in Idaho.
I wish she was.
Okay.
Because I would hound on her really hard. Because I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then she continues. It's just amazing because I wasn't on this. I just was getting sent pictures.
Yeah. And
she just goes on and on and on. And let's see. She tells people, never tell anyone. It's brandishing. It's a felony. I teach this topic and several others. I'm like, you're a freaking moron. You know, and one person's like, I was just at the store buying ammo from where I purchased the gun. Just like a Bass Pro Shop, you take your gun out and you check it at the counter. Well, yeah, they have to know you have a firearm. Is that considered brandishing because you told them that you had a gun and you have to take it out?
And in front of more than 2 people.
Know who your instructor is. Know who your instructor is.
Do a little research.
Do a little research.
I'm
NRA certified, and I will say that, and I needed to be, so I get some street cred. When I got NRA certified, there really wasn't any other options out there, okay? But just because someone says they're NRA certified does not mean they should be in a position to teach a class. I have gone through... Oh, I'm hoping not listening. I have gone through and scrubbed, besides staying certified, I've gone through and tried to scrub every NRA, anything off of my paperwork, off anything.
Oh, really?
Anything that I can, I've taken off. I am a certified NRA instructor. I have to be to be able to give the permit class. Okay. I've taken plenty of other training classes as well to get me to where I am today, but I've tried to scrub that off because people think the NRA is the end all be all. This is going to turn into an NRA rant.
Oh my goodness.
So we're not going to talk about money. We're not going to talk about them doing all the other stuff, but they think the NRA is the end all be all of certifications and of training. It is not.
No,
it is absolutely not.
They don't even do training classes anymore, do they?
No, they will certify you as an instructor and they do some other stuff. Yeah. But they had to be real careful because they were trying to certify, but anyhow, they were stealing from their members is what they were doing, because you have plenty of instructors that paid to be NRA certified, and then they were also running their own classes to certify their people. It's a fine line, right? But just because someone says they're NRA certified, man, you talk to them, find out who they are, find out what their experience is, talk to other people, find out if they know their shit.
Yeah.
This woman doesn't know her. It scares me to think what the rest of her class is like. It really does. That's simple. That's something simple. That has nothing to even involve with safety. That's a simple definition.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what brandishing means.
Yeah. Look it up on the internet.
Look.
It takes 2 seconds.
I mean, I knew what it meant, but when I sent this person who got a hold of me, when I sent them, guess what? It took me about 2 seconds to punch it up, get the definition, screenshot it, and send it. That's what brandishing is.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, only reason I didn't type it out to you is because I'm freaking lazy.
Yeah. It doesn't take, yeah. There's a lot of bad instructors out there, and not just in the firearms industry.
Be careful. Know who you're going to. Know who you're getting instruction from.
Yep. Research.
Okay.
It'll save your life.
This is like, I was talking to this person during the week through Facebook Messenger, and it was just, I was beside myself. I'm like, how people give these people money.
Yeah. At least the lady that was sending you that was doing her research, trying to find out the right answers. And she did the right thing.
And how do you know it was a lady?
Because you keep saying she.
I said, damn it, I'm not good at this.
You're not good at it at all.
Don't give me any deep, dark secrets you don't want me to let out. I've done everything but say the name and the place.
Yeah, we'll change the subject so you don't accidentally spill the beans.
Yeah. Okay, we'll shut that one down. I'm not good at secrets, am I? I'll hear about this later on, I'm sure. So let's talk about revolvers.
Revolvers.
This comes around every so many months. It absolutely does. And I'm not against revolvers. People think I hate revolvers. I don't hate revolvers. I'm a semi-auto guy. Can I shoot a revolver? Yeah, I can shoot a freaking revolver. Do I like them? Yeah, they're okay. I carry one when I run.
So you carry one when you run?
It just depends on the situation, right? Revolvers aren't for everybody.
Definitely not.
They're not for everybody. Years ago, and I've told this story before, and I'm gonna tell it again. It was about 3 or 4 years ago. I was out at Three Creek, and I was Three Creek's a little one-room schoolhouse in the town of Three Creek, unincorporated, way out in the middle. I think it's unincorporated. It has to be.
It has to be.
Way out in the middle of the Owyhee Desert. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
A pretty cool spot out there. And I was giving a class there. I was doing an active shooter class out there. And I was also going to give the Idaho Enhanced Concealed Carry Permit out there. And I'm out there, and there was some Owyhee County deputies showed up because that's their area. And they wanted to know who is this guy, right?
Yeah.
I didn't have to be okayed by them or anything like that, but they wanted to come. So whatever, let them show up. I don't care. So they showed up, and about halfway through the class, we had gone through a bunch of the class, and they're real nice guys. We got along great. And guess I was up to par with them, and they said they had to go. And they interrupted the class for a minute, said, "Hey, we got to go. This guy knows what he's talking about. You're in good hands. He's all good." Thank you, sir.
Appreciate your endorsement.
I appreciate your endorsement. Yes. Anyhow, it is what it is. He turned around to leave, and he was walking out. Do you remember the story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
He was walking out of the school, and he stopped and he turned around and goes, "And I got one thing to say." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm thinking, oh, great. What's going on now?" And he looked at all the women. There's a bunch of ranchers. And we're talking, this is a Whitehee County. These are some die-hard people that live out there.
Yeah. Hardcore people.
Hardcore people out there. I mean, hardcore. Great salt of the earth. But they're tough.
Yep.
Don't mess with them.
Yep.
And I could not believe that he said this. He looks around and he looks at all the women, all these ranchers' wives. And he looks at them and goes, "And if you guys are going to go buy, you women, you ladies, if you guys go buy guns because you're going to get your concealed carry permit and you're going to buy a gun to carry on, I recommend you get a revolver." And I kind of looked at him, and he goes, "Because you women run around with lacy sleeves and it'll get caught up in the semi-auto, and the semi-automatic gun will jam and you won't know how to clear them." And he said that with a straight face.
And he probably meant every single word of it.
Every single word of it.
Yep.
And I looked at him and he goes, "Okay, I got to go." And he turned around, and he hadn't even made it out of the building yet. He turned around, and I'm like, "Ignore everything he just said. Everything you just heard, forget it. There's no reason why you guys can't run a semi-automatic if you want. If you want a revolver, get a freaking revolver.
Yep.
I don't care." What drives me nuts is there is a portion of people out there that will just immediately push a woman into a revolver because they think that's the gun for them.
Yep.
Now, I've seen a lot of people come in with guns to class, semi-auto. Some of them can't rack the slides. Guess what? There's specialty guns out there for that now.
Yep.
But they struggle rocking the slide. Now, there is a way to be able to rack the slide, and you just have to teach them it. And it probably fixes 80% of the problems, right? So because they struggle with racking a slide, sometimes people say, "Give them a revolver." Well, you give a woman a revolver, you give anyone a revolver. A lot of them will struggle, not all of them, will struggle with the trigger. A trigger press, not just women, men as well. A trigger press on a revolver, you get a stiff double action. It's a long, heavy, probably 6.5 to 8 pound trigger.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Revolvers, even in a 38 special, revolvers can carry a little bit of a thump to them because they have these little tiny short barrels. Now it's really hard to be a good long barreled revolver. Those are really nice. But for concealed carry, they show up with these little snub nose, and they are tough to shoot. They jump. I see people, women especially, squeeze that trigger, and they squeeze the trigger all the way to the back. And then what are they doing? Because it's a long, heavy trigger pull. They're raising that barrel up. Next thing you know, they're shooting at the sky. They're aiming that gun at the sky when it goes off, and they don't realize it. They struggle with that. They struggle with the recoil on it. Some do work them great, and that's no problem. Guns are personal items. You find what fits you. Don't pick up a revolver because you struggle with a semi-auto. If you want a semi-auto, learn how to run the semi-auto. There's, like I said, there's ways to do it. I can train someone. I can fix the I can't rack the slide problem on a semi-auto better than I can. I've got arthritis and I can't squeeze the trigger on a revolver.
Yeah.
Does that make?
Absolutely.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
A lot of the times, the women that come in with revolvers, they have arthritis and stuff like that. That and it's hard for them, but it's hard for them to use a semi-auto. But I can train you on the semi-auto better than I can train you to be able to work a revolver. People say revolvers are simple. Yeah, typically they kind of are. They say revolvers don't jam up. Typically, no. I have seen them lock up before because they get out of time.
I was going to say they get out of time.
I've seen that, right? And a lot of times they will do that when it's really hard to press that trigger, and they get the trigger about halfway, and then they let off, and then they try to do it again. On certain revolvers, you'll lock that cylinder up. Revolvers aren't point and shoot as easy as what everyone makes it out to be. I get told by a lot of people, and I'm not, if Mark listens to this, I'm not picking on Mark, and he knows I don't. he knows I don't pick on him. There's a lot of people out there that sell firearms, and they will automatically just hand a woman a revolver. What do you need? This is the easiest thing. You're in your house at night. You don't have to think about it. You need to pick up the gun, and this is what I heard last week. You don't have to think about it. There's nothing to do. You just point it and squeeze the trigger, and it's going to go bang. Okay. First of all, if you're going to pick up the gun and you're going to fire it in your house because someone has broken into your house at night, or you think someone's broken into your house at night, when you wake up and you're in a fuzzy haze, daze, you're not quite awake yet, do you want a gun you can just pick up and you don't even have to think about shooting? Because that's what he said. Pick up the gun. You don't even think about shooting. You need to know what the frick you're shooting at. You should be awake enough to know how to do this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so that was, I can't believe that was even said. Second of all, a guy behind the counter a person behind the counter that sells guns, that doesn't do classes, doesn't deal with, 100, 150 people a month or whatever it is, doesn't see what I see.
Yep.
Okay. He can say a lot of things, but he doesn't have the people that have arthritis really bad. What's that? Rheumatoid arthritis. They don't have it so bad that their knuckles are knots and they're swelled up and they can't do a lot of things. He doesn't see that. He just thinks that they should be able to shoot a revolver. That's a bunch of bullshit. If I've ever heard it.
I would think that'd actually be worse because, like you said, the trigger pull on some of those revolvers, I've got a 357, and that thing is tough to pull.
Yeah,
even for me, and I'm a big guy.
And I know what some people are going to say this. Well, if they got a hammer, they can go back to single action.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you got someone with rheumatoid arthritis that is trying to hold on to the revolver. They're trying to pull the hammer back, which is tough on a lot of them, and then they're trying. It's just you're doing more. All of a sudden, you've added more complications into it, right? And I'm not saying someone can't figure that stuff out, but
you figure that out the same way you do on a semi-auto.
Yeah. Don't let someone tell you, and I'm talking to all the women out there, don't let somebody tell you that you aren't smart enough or good enough or strong enough to run a semi-auto. You find out what you want to shoot and you figure out how the hell to shoot it.
Yep, exactly.
And and I'm not saying come take a class from me. I'll help you. I have no problem. Call me, get a hold of me. I'll talk to you. I'll help you, whatever. Find someone who will help you. Find someone who will listen to you. If the person you are going to for help says, nope, this is what you need to do, walk away. Walk away.
Yep.
If you walk into a gun store and they say, oh, you're looking for a revolver, walk away.
Yep.
Walk away. Don't do it. And I know if Jillian was in here right now, she'd be all over. She'd agree with me 100%. Don't let women, if you go in to buy a gun, if you go in to take a class from someone and they treat you like you're stupid, or they treat you like you aren't enough, or they treat you like you're not strong enough to do this, walk away. If you want to learn it, you can learn it. And there's techniques and ways to learn it. Now, the semi-auto that you might have right there, that might not be a good one for you.
Yeah.
You might have to go find a semi-auto that is easier. You don't have to carry a revolver unless that's what you want to carry.
Yeah. It's all preference.
It's
what are you going to be able to shoot and manipulate the easiest for you?
Yeah.
That's what it boils down to.
Yep. And let's get and I'm gonna call out the husbands and the boyfriends and the dads and the grandpas. Don't just hand them a revolver. Let them decide. Jillian, I keep pointing because this is where she sat the other day. When Jillian was here, she's just a great subject to talk about. She found a gun that she liked. Now she's got a SIG. She's got a SIG P365. She's got a 1911. She's got a Canic. I mean, she went out and decided she liked this. She wanted to learn how to do it, and she didn't mess around. She figured out what she wanted and she went after it. She didn't let anyone stop her. Don't let people stop you.
Nope.
I can't stress that enough.
Because if you don't enjoy shooting it either, you're not going to shoot it.
No.
Like I bring up that freaking Taurus. I won't shoot it because I can't.
You don't like
I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
Yep.
So.
Okay. Rant over.
Did
that take me? It took me about 15 minutes.
It took you 15 minutes.
10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
So that's my thought of the week. I just couldn't believe the conversation I was having. And it's simple. It's easy. You point and shoot and you don't have to think about it.
Yeah.
You don't train people. You sell guns. That's
it's an easy sell, but
it is an easy sell.
That's what it is. It's an easy sell.
And on that note too, I've had a lot of people come in and they've gone to whatever gun store they go to and they've bought a gun and it wasn't a revolver. They bought a gun because they wanted a 22 because that's all they could handle recoil wise. I get it. That's fine. That's fine. We'll work with that. We'll do that. It's better than nothing. And they are sold a gun that 22 semi-autos are known to jam up a lot. Some of them. Okay. And they sold one and it jams up and they'll take it back and the person who they bought it from will shoot it and they'll go, it works fine. Well, yeah, it works fine. You're 20 years younger and you're strong.
Yeah.
Okay. that little tiny 22 has a little bit of recoil. And when the subject that is shooting it is limp wristing it because there is a strength problem, why didn't you see that when you sold it to him?
Yeah.
You're selling whatever is in the display case.
Yep.
You're selling whatever's in the display case. And
Just trying to make money.
Whatever's not in the display case is crap at that moment in time.
Yep. And that's exactly
Are you
right.
doing it because you care about it, or are you doing it because
it's all about money?
You want to make some money.
Make some money. But do your research, people. It's
I tell people when I've had women show up here, or people come take classes, and they don't like the gun that they have, and they'll shoot some of mine, or they don't have any guns and they just want to shoot some of mine, right? Just figure out what they like.
Yeah.
And they find one that they like, and they'll be like, "What is this gun? I love it. It's great. I can rack the slide. I can squeeze the trigger. I can manipulate this thing. I love the recoil. It's perfect. What is it?" And I'll tell them what it is, and I'll take a picture of it, and I'll send it to them, or they'll take a picture of it, or I'll text them what it is, and I'll say, "Okay." They're like, "I'm going to go buy this gun." And I'll say, "Okay, don't give in. If you want to buy this gun, go find this gun and buy it."
Yeah.
I tell them about all the places in the Magic Valley where they can go and buy a gun, right? Go find it and buy it. Don't let them talk you out of it. If it's not in stock, don't let them talk you into something else.
Yep.
Wait. I'll help you find one.
Yeah.
I'll look around for you. Buy the one that you like. If you were in love with it, you've shot it, it works for you, do not accept anything else.
Yep.
And
I try to shoot all the guns before I go out and actually purchase one.
Yeah.
I want to shoot it before I buy it, because that way I know it feels good in my hand. I like the recoil, the sights, whatever the case may be.
How can you work behind a gun counter and when someone comes in specifically and they're excited, right? They're excited. I took a class. I shot a gun. This is the gun. And man, it worked great for me. I struggle with arthritis. I do this, I do that. But I mean, this gun was like butter. I can rack the slide. I can do everything. I got some bullseyes. Look at my picture. I got some bullseyes with it. I'm super excited. I want this gun. Do you have it? Can you get it? And you go, "Well, I don't have that. But if you like that, you're really going to like this."
Yeah.
That there's no care involved there. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm just, that boggles my mind.
Yep. But it's just about making money at that point.
It is. And
which is sad.
Anyhow, I don't want to go down that road, because I just, I do this. I don't sell guns, but I do this. I like to think because I care. Right. I mean, but whatever.
Yep. No,
not everyone.
I understand.
I guess not everyone's like that, but anyhow, I think that, I think it's about time to wrap this up. Now, I don't know, as you leave today, I don't need you putting any lead bullets or anything in your pockets to weigh you down, because that wind is it's howling. I could feel the wind coming through.
Yeah, I felt it under the door there.
Yeah, good thing I got my heavy duty sweatshirt on. It was only like 80 degrees today.
I know. I made fun of you as I pulled up, and then the wind started blowing. Now I'm wishing I had mine.
It takes a while for me to transition out of the long sleeves. So, hey, I appreciate you joining me, Bathroom Paul.
It was fun. I appreciate it.
I love that, Bathroom Paul. That's freaking fantastic. Hey, if you guys like this podcast, and if you watched on YouTube Live, I do appreciate it. I always like the conversation there. I know we did it a couple hours earlier than normal, but sometimes I just want to be able to eat dinner. Because if I do this at 6 o'clock like normal, sometimes I don't. I get done. It's 8 o'clock time I get in there, and I'm just like, screw it, I ain't eating dinner. I'm just going to bed. I go to bed really early. I'm an old man.
Yeah, me too.
I'm a really old man. But if you watch it on YouTube, I appreciate that. Go ahead and you can post that on your social media. Share that. It always helps, right? I think we're up to, I wrote it down here. Where's it at?
105?
No. Don't you shortcut me.
Oh.
Last week, we were up to 106 subscribers on YouTube. We are now up to 108.
Oh.
Hey, I do have a question real quick. Message me if someone knows what's happening. So whenever I get done doing one of these videos, I will get, when people leave comments on them afterwards, the comments will pop up, right? But I've got people, and I don't know who they are, but they will watch it, and in the comments they just write down a number, like it's like a timestamp, like in the video.
Really?
Yeah, they'll write down like 1511, 15.11, or 27.32. Or it's really weird.
That's weird.
I get them all, and I don't know if are they like marking things in the video that maybe they can like get rid of me for, or what are they doing?
Maybe it's something that they're doing so that they can go back and be like, "Oh, I wanted this section of that video to listen to," or something.
If anybody knows, I want to know because I'm curious.
Now I'm just going to go on and start leaving that comment every once in a while.
You could go 69.
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's a wrong podcast for that. Anyhow, share this on your social media. I would appreciate it. If you listen to it, you can share that as well. You can find the audio version of the podcast. Actually, you can find it on YouTube as well. Both of them pop up there. But if you want it on your phone, so you can listen to it with your headphones, whatever, you can find us on Stitcher, iTunes, Spotify, any of your pod catcher apps you can find us on. Share it, give us a shout out, do whatever. If you want to get a hold of me because you just don't like the show, or you want to, I don't know, give me some advice. I've been taking lots of advice lately, or hearing lots of advice lately, but you can get a hold of me. You can call me. You can text me, area code 620-794-6223. That's area code 620-794-6223. Idaho Pete wants a Canic. You recommend the Canic. Get it. He says, Bathroom Paul says to get it. You will not regret it. Make sure you get it cut for a red dot, though, because you won't regret that either.
But if you buy the right one, it already comes with all the plates and everything.
Yeah, not like my stupid HK. But until then, thank you guys. And I've got a class coming up this Saturday, so I think I'll try to do one Saturday night. I'm not sure. You guys will get something this weekend. I just don't know when. It depends on how stressful that class is.
It's going to be nice.
It's going to be 30 people in that class.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm out of town.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to help. I hear you. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. You guys have a good weekend. Bye. Thanks for listening on YouTube, or thanks for watching and listening on YouTube Live.